Welcome back to a brand new episode of Bloor and Mandalore. I'm your host, Jeremy Bloor, and today I want to talk to you about the brand new episode of Skeleton Crew. I gotta say, it's been my favorite episode so far. This series has kind of come out of the blue, out of nowhere. If you saw my previous breakdown, I talked about how everybody had zero expectations for this, and I feel like this is where it's hitting its stride. Like, everybody didn't know what to think, so it's a blank slate. I love this. I'm really enjoying it. And honestly, it's got me really excited for the next few weeks when it's releasing. We've got 8 episodes. We're 3 episodes in. 5 more, if I can do my maths correctly. So, 5 more weeks of just genuinely good Star Wars content if they continue down the same path. But I'm going to give it all the fucking credit it deserves. It's been doing it so far. I think it's going to keep going. Look, I wanted to break down this episode in a way that it was kind of, not retelling the story, but I wanted to bring out my favorite points in the show. So I want to start off with how much I love this color palette. Now, when I've been doing this YouTube, I focus so much on color grading. It's one of the most important parts of video creation, be that cinematics or even just regular YouTube. And color grading, it's a really hard skill to do, but it can tell everything about the movie, the scene, that whatever you're shooting. The video itself is so important due to the color grading and the music. Now, music separate aside, I don't think they had anything too stand out-ish with the music this episode. So I want to talk about this color palette. Look, it was visually pleasing, but it told us everything that we needed to know about these planets. When we open up and we see on Aden, we get to see a beautiful golden sunset. The golden glow off of all of the buildings in the background on the cars. They're a rich country, or rich planet. They're a very wealthy people. Now, do they know why they are wealthy? No. But you can tell just how long these guys have been held in because it's just a complete bubble of beautiful wealth. It's a thriving environment. You've got massive amounts of green, beautiful sunsets, and golden hues to just give us that warm feeling of home. Contrast that with all of the pirate station, Borgo Station, I'm pretty sure it's called, and you get to see all of the pirates, and it's a blue. Now, blue isn't necessarily a bad thing. I think what they're doing here is blue is very much an exploration. It's the search for something new. And this is all what the kids are doing. It's a completely new environment. They're in this sheltered galaxy. I absolutely, this sheltered realm of the galaxy. And I'm loving all of the color design, the set design, everything to do with this. It's just so visually pleasing. I hope they continue down this path. Like, even down to the silhouettes. Let's break that down. I think the Star Wars DNA, if you were to understand any aspect of it, if it was even down to the most minute detail, it is the silhouettes. Everybody knows what any character looks like if we were just seeing the silhouette of them. Now, for some of you people who don't know what a silhouette is, that is the outline or the black, basically a shadow. But if you were to see someone from behind a curtain, you would not be able to see their features. You would just be able to see the outline of their body. That is inherently what a silhouette is. And silhouettes in Star Wars, from Vader to Palpatine to now Mando, we get to see all of these amazing characters come to life in our regular day life. That's where, you can see things in the clouds, or you can go out and a leaf looks like C-3PO. I saw all of these tree trunks that looked like Sid. Anyways, it's this look and the style of the characters that makes it so impactful. That one scene that they had going across that moon, and they were going to Kim's, now Kim is the owl, we'll talk about her later, but we're going to Kim's observatory, right? She's an astrologist. And they're going across, and it's just completely blacked out except for the beautiful gas planet behind them with all the beautiful purple and blue and cyan kind of swirls going on in the background. Absolutely obsessed. That shot right there, it's most likely the thumbnail. I've been testing a bunch of different stuff with it, but I am fucking loving it. Loving every single part of it. This show, it feels like it's so ingrained in this DNA. We look at the next part. We have the physicality of the costumes and the sets. Like, Neel is a physical costume. We got to see that at Disneyland. Star Wars posted a really cool video. Obviously, I'm in Australia. I don't get to see any of that kind of stuff. I think a lot of people, even in America, wouldn't be able to see that. But they had the physical costume of Neel. We've got Brutus, which is the practical effects. He's got, basically the talking puppet mouth. I love it. Even down to the owls talking about how they've got their flock, and the wolf. It's got and we'll get the pups with them. I'm obsessed with it. I'm obsessed with it. I love that this episode, out of obviously this show so far, 3 episodes in, has had amazing callbacks to the original trilogy. A lot of the Christmas special, obviously being Christmas time that this is being released. But what I love in this episode is going to every single aspect of multiple different forms of Star Wars content. We had the mural on the back of Neel's parents' wall. It looked exactly like the mural at the end of Rebels. Now, I've got to say, I love that style of artwork. I don't know exactly what it's called, but it looks fucking beautiful. It looks like it's something like a Sistine. You could actually put that on the Sistine Chapel and it would look in place. Love it so fucking much. And I love that they tapped into that with Neel's family. Like, this is just a part of the time period. This is what happens in the Star Wars universe. That's not just specifically for these characters. Yes, some people might think that it derives from the importance of the Rebels mural because they're the heroes, all that kind of stuff. Sure. But I don't necessarily, I think it just adds to it. It adds so much more to this galaxy far, far away that it makes it feel so lived in. Really, really does. And speaking of lived in, we got to see different aspects of different times, like the B-1 battle droid. I loved looking at that. I've got a little bit of a theory that I'm going to talk about later when it comes to that droid specifically. So hold on to that one. We're talking about that when I talk about the Narwood, Jude Law's character, Jod Narwood, it is Jod Narwood. The name, it's kind of annoying. It's kind of I just like saying Jude Law. It's so much easier to say. So then we get to see even the probe droid. I thought it was kind of funny that it was like, the Jedi, they're keepers of peace. And then you just have the fucking helmet rolling over and then it's the probe droid going, wah, 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 wah. But this probe droid looked really similar to that little training droid that Luke gets to use in the original trilogy, A New Hope, when it's going, psst, the one that shoots the little bolt, psst, psst. And he's loved that. I love that. I really, really thought this was just like, they were just the highlights. I'm sure there was so much more and so many other amazing creators and other influencers of Star Wars kind are going to be showing all of that. So I'll leave that for them. That was just the most significant ones for me. One thing that I really liked about this as well is I'm a massive fan of Indiana Jones. Indiana Jones is like one of my favorite franchises. I'm obsessed. I'm obsessed with Star Wars and Lord of the Rings. Lord of the Rings at the moment, not more than Star Wars, but a lot more than most. But it's just, Indiana Jones is ingrained in my DNA. My dad always used to play these movies, and I would watch it 50 million times. And I promise you, if you put that skeleton crew, very, very fucking start of the episode, pretty much, where Jod is pulling SM-33 into the thing, he's like, to the ship! Yes, very Han Solo, but I thought it was so much more Indiana Jones. Like, everything that they're doing here, from just, removing the blade from the skeleton to escaping the pirate crew, it felt so much more Indiana Jones than Han Solo. Now, if some of you might think that it felt more Han Solo, well, I would agree that it's the exact same actor, so you could kind of blur the lines. They're very much... Indiana Jones and Han Solo are pretty much the same kind of person. It's just Indiana Jones is 10 times cooler. I said that. Don't fucking come at me. I love kind of the harkbacks to the 80s movies. We get to see all of these amazing references to just shows and movies that so ingrained in us, in our movie DNA. You know, everybody has watched Indiana Jones. Everybody's gone out. Even if, you know, you think you haven't, you've probably seen it in the background. It's played non-stop. So to have that kind of reference, you know, from obviously the place that owns Indiana Jones and Star Wars and Marvel, I think it's a really nice touch. It's a really, really nice touch, and I can't wait to see more. I hope that they kind of turn him into that Indiana Jones style character of like, he's good, but he does bad things for the right reasons. You know what I mean? Because, I mean, Jod, we can jump into Jod right now. So Jod Narwood, I feel like if he kind of accepted that more Indiana Jones role, I think it would be very fitting. Not necessarily the pirate. Now, it's easy, obviously, to put him in a pirate role where we go, okay, you know, he's the bad guy. He's, you know, he wants to just take the money and take the treasure and you know, fuck the kids off. Don't worry about them, you know. Screw the authority. I'm going to do it my own way. I'll burn bridges if I need to. Understandably. But what I feel like Jod is going to do is he's going to turn coat just that. I think he's not going to turn coat to being a Jedi, but I think he's going to turn coat to being a good guy for the kids. Now, we've already seen that he has a high reverence for the kids, be that only to receive the treasure later on or not. He actually does help them. He supports them, takes care of them when they're lost. Like, there was that point when they're at Port Borgo and they're running around and Neel gets lost and he's like, I don't know where to go. And then, you know, he grabs him on the shoulder and he gently guides him across. Now, again, he could be looking to try to take the treasure and just befriend these kids for that. I really don't think so. I think he actually does have a good bone in his body. But we asked the question last 2 episodes, is he really Force sensitive or not? Now, I don't think that he is a Jedi, but I definitely think that he is Force sensitive. I think that he is a forgotten Jedi. This is where we get to the theory. Okay, so in the time when he goes in with the B1 battle droid, we get to see him touching it and looking at it with a lot of disdain. Like, the way he looks at it is like, ugh, battle droid. I think there harbors a bunch of bad memories and connections to these droids that a lot of the galaxy might share, but a comment later really spiked this interest in me. When he's sitting in there and he goes, we don't need him. Droids are bad anyway. You never trust a droid. Who did that remind you of? The Mandalorian. Now, obviously, I'm a big Mando fan. I will think of him in every single aspect of Star Wars, but I think this one's just that little bit different. I think that the importance of Mando in this episode is his distrust. I think it sets the time period. Now, Jod is about the same age as Mando. I mean, if you're looking at him physically, the physicality of it, I don't exactly know his age, but I do know that he's around the same age. Now, that was as a child when the Grand Republic was fighting in the Clone Wars. This is against the Separatists, and the Separatists had armies of these same B1 battle droids. Now, do you think that maybe Jod was a Padawan? That's where he got to learn the Force, but then his master died. I think that that's going to be the case. I think we find out that he had some really dark history with the Separatists. He had a bad history with these B1 battle droids. They killed his master. They basically took him in. He escaped. He got found out by pirates, and he basically joined the crew like Quill from Guardians of the Galaxy. You know, they took him in and then they're like, I'm not going to send him to that fucking bad dude. I'm just going to hold on to him like he's going to be a good asset. Yeah, I think that is potentially the path that they go down. And especially having that Force sensitivity, man, if he showed it to them or not, I think it's one of the most important aspects of it. Because he doesn't have the morals of a Jedi. He doesn't act like a Jedi, and he only has limited power. Even when he's pulling the keys over, you see the difference between Obi-Wan or Anakin or anyone of the Grand Republic era when they're reaching out and they're grabbing something and they're pulling it in. I think they show so much more of a swiftness and an ease of using the Force. It kind of like, it's not as shaky as Jude was when he was pulling those keys. If you see the keys, they're going like this. They're like, dun, 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 dun. I think that's why a lot of the people thought that, oh, shit. I think that's why a lot of the time people at the start were thinking, oh, he's pulling on a string or he's using magnets because it's not as strong. I just think he's not as well practiced. Now, Beyond the Dune Sea kind of brought this up. Maybe he would be another one to escape Order 66. But I think it predates that. I really do. I think it goes even further back. And we kind of see this guy that has been wrecked by this galaxy. And the distrust that he has for Jedi is so immense that he would just completely live to a life of scum and villainy. You know, it would be a more interesting path because I'm so sick of seeing these Order 66 survivors. Like, how many times do we have to see people surviving Order 66? Now, as much as I love seeing more different, more parts of Order 66, we get to see a little bit in Kenobi and Anakin, and we get to see some in The Mandalorian when Grogu's being saved by Kaleri and Beck. Kalerian Beck. I always say Kalerian. I don't know why. I just thought in my head, I was like, because there was a comment that was made, Star Wars says 66. I do Topps decks opening sometimes. Professor Oak. I've been playing Pokemon a lot lately. Sorry, my brain's going crazy. And he put a comment and he was like, it's Kalerian Beck. It's not Kalerian. So Tony, if you're watching this right now, brother, I get it. My mind gets ahead of me. I'm one person here and I'm talking to myself. I'm talking to a camera. You know what I mean? Like I'm so lonely. No, but I think if you would add more people in that Order 66 montage, I just think it lessens the impact of it. Like right now, we're at a point where it's kind of like, was it necessary? Did they even do anything of significance? Like, all of the Jedi who died were obviously not that good anyway, because a bunch of people who did survive were really good. Like, you've got Cal Kestis, you've got Kalir and Beck. Obi-Wan. How many people do I have to go on about? Like, so many strong Jedi that the Force has just channeled all of the goodness into them. So many Jedi have gone through this, and it's kind of gotten me to the point where I'm like, I don't even want to see Mace Windu. You know what I mean? I don't even want to see Mace Windu come back and be another survivor of Order 66. I just want them all to be done. Like, done with that era. Don't taint it anymore. Leave it. If you want to tell stories in between it. Anyways, I think, with that kind of theory, it would be really, really interesting to see how they would go. But I want to just talk about something to do with, you got the protagonist and the antagonist in a the very classic idea of what a movie or TV script is. Good guy, bad guy. So the good guys in this are the kids, and Jude is a part of the kids now. So we've got the bad guy being Brutus. Now, Brutus is the wolf creature. Talked about him before. Absolutely love him. I love the special effects. He's really, really cool. I want to see more of him. I don't think they're showing enough. Like, I really need him to be more of a villain. I guess that, he's a pirate and he's not going to be as bad. He's not going to be like a Sith and just seek evil no matter what. No, he's going to be bad, but not that bad. But I need to see him do more. I need to see him fail. Like, what was he doing? What was he doing the whole time? They were like, oh yeah, no, just aim the cannons, aim this. Whereas someone who's a real villain would be like, fuck you, I'm taking over the cannon. I'm taking, shoot him down, done. I mean, he's kind of a little bit of a stupid guy, which we had Jude's mate who in the prison cell, or in the droid prison, or workshop, I guess, he was like, Brutus is, you're a much better captain than Brutus. He's not a very good captain. I think that's kind of interesting. I think it's kind of interesting to see down that path where he's going to go, but I really don't think he's going to be the foil. So, to foil all the kids and all that kind of stuff, I think that the kids are going to be their own foil. Their planet that they grew up on, that's their foil. What's going to happen when the security droids find out that they brought someone from another world into this place of just... sanctuary, I guess. It feels like a sanctuary at the same time, Like, it feels like they're in this place of beauty and peace and wealth. And why would they want to leave other than the fact that they're bored as fuck and everyone's an analyst? Like, what's in analyst? Anal? Anal's not fun. I tried it. No, I didn't. So, anal people, they're not fun. They're boring. It's like, oh, boring people. People. No, I didn't say that word. That's my Australian part. You get to see all these boring people, and I don't think that the planet. I think the planet itself is going to be the foil. Brutus is not going to be that. I think he's going to be the necessary evil to force them into that point. Like, it might be they get right to the edge of Aden and they're like, no, we can't enter because Brutus is there behind us with all these ships. He's tracked us. Somehow the fuel line put in a little bit of a microchip and they've been tracking us through hyperspace. We know it's able. Everybody quickly do the holdo maneuver. Don't do the holdo maneuver. Don't do it. That chick was so dumb. She was a bad leader. And then what? She just killed herself? Suicide is a permanent solution to a temporary problem. Remember that, people. Remember that. Holdo, you are no fucking better, mate. You are no better. Why were you hating Poe? Okay, that can be a whole nother thing. But what Jude did do in this, and it kind of led my Brutus, was introduce us to Kim. Now, I thought it was just Kim. All right, to start off with, I was like, Kim. That's kind of a cool fucking name. But no, it's actually KH''YMM. I like that they're doing classic Aurebesh names. Really, really cool. That sounds like regular names. So she really reminds me of the owl from Avatar. I talked about this in my little breakdown or like reaction video that I did right after watching. But she reminds me so much of the Avatar owl, the one that they were in that library, and it was kind of like they would like slowly turn it and twist it down into the depths. It was some demon spirit, and that one guy was in the library for so long he just died. You see him in The Legend of Korra. It's kind of cool. He was there for a long time. Oh yeah, oh wow, well, so cool. She reminded me of that, but in many more ways than just that. It's a holder of knowledge. Now, obviously, we know that Dave Filoni was one of the creative directors of Avatar: The Last Airbender, so that might have just been a little bit of a nod for him. But she's an owl cat, not the Avatar. We're back to Kim. So Kim is an owl cat, presumably with cybernetics. Really like that. Really like that they're adding more cybernetics. Book of Boba Fett tried to add that, but it was kind of like fucking up too much, because then you had the Sin City wasn't made for you. If you guys know what I'm talking about, it's that one fucking turnaround that he did. It was just so stupid. So stupid. Book of Boba Fett tried to do the cybernetics. I didn't think they did it very well, but they introduced us to that world. Kind of, obviously, we had Lobot and a bunch of different other people. Black Chrysanthemum, who is the Wookiee in that, he was basically a genetically modified or cybernetically modified warrior from Kashyyyk. He had electric in his... It doesn't matter. I could go on about that. I love Black Chrysanthemum. But I think Kim's kind of like, she's a really cool character. Really reminds me of Maz Kanata. Maz Kanata is in the sequels. We get to see her. She's like a wealth of knowledge. She's part of, if you play Battlefront 2, it was one of the better maps to play as. Everyone kind of like huddled outside of her castle. She had all of these different kind of like, she had flags of every single kind of species or empire, I guess, because the Mandalorians aren't really a species. It's a bit of an empire, and it doesn't matter. It's kind of like she had flags from all of these different places all over the galaxy. She's a collector of knowledge, but this one's a little bit different. Kim is an astrologist, so she studies all of these hyperspace tunnels. She talks about it there. She's like, I've got every single map to every single system and the hyperspace tunnels between them. Love that. Absolutely love that. I want to see more of her. Now, there was a point where, she fights Jude and she's called in the X-Wings. Jude's like, naughty girl. And then she's kind of just, pulling him in. It's just like, fighting. And they're fighting. Jude, obviously, a fucking G, just whoosh, Rocky Balboa hit him with the left. Well, I guess this was the left. Boo! Hit him with the left, Balboa. Knocked her down. And what she said, which mirrored what Jude said earlier to KB. Jude looks at KB and goes, sometimes you just gotta trust your gut, and turns off the light. Really cool scene, but you can see how much of a master manipulator he is from that point, right? So you see Kim and she goes, he told you to trust his gut, right? Yeah. Trust your head. Find the truth, and I'm here whenever you need me. I hope we see more. I want to see more. Like, I hope they kept the coordinates in there, or at least SM-33 should fucking finally hold on to the coordinates of a planet. Like, how did they end up on At-Aden? No idea. No idea. What she did reveal, though, was At-Aden is a jewel of the Old Republic. Now, obviously, we knew that before, but she revealed it to the kids. We're finding this out within their lenses, right? So we find out that At-Aden is a jewel of the Old Republic. Really cool. But she found it. I don't think so. She found what could be it because of Palmerian numerals. Now, this is Old Republic lettering systems, symbols, all that kind of stuff in order to convey, social class or whatever. It's really interesting system. Really, really like that they added it in. Hold on one second. I'm allergic to bitches, and I just looked at myself on the camera. Palmerian numerals, they lead to the coordinates. It was kind of cool, we just get to see the backpack on the back, and it's like, oh, what? Oh my God, that's kind of crazy. What? Palmerian numerals. It could be this gassy planet. Oh, no. Okay, I'm stalling, and then, golden thing, they get it. Jude takes it out, leaves. Really, really cool. I really liked the map. I liked the look of the map. I hope that somebody has broken down that Aurebesh. If no one's done it by a couple of days, I will actually do it myself. I've been learning Aurebesh, which is kind of probably a waste of time because I want to move to Japan, so I need to learn Japanese. But maybe it could be good. So, maybe we see her more. I think that would be probably in a second season, or if it was going to be a second season, I think it would kind of be like the Bad Batch. She is the, hey, you can go out here and check this out. Hey, Kim, we're kind of looking for an adventure. And then it's just like, oh, hey, look, I'll take this hyperspace tunnel, turn to the left and go to the right, and you'll be there at this planet. And you've got the treasures of the galaxy and turmoil. That was, you know what impression I was trying to do. I don't even have to fucking try. So let's talk about At-Aden for a second, right? So Kim kind of mentions in one point, she goes, Alderaan, you missed the war, did you? Missed the war, did you? I thought it was kind of cool because it shows how isolated these kids are. They have absolutely no idea about anything to do with this fucking show. Absolutely no idea. That's what I kind of like. That's what I like, exploring it through their eyes because we're learning so much with them. They know absolutely nothing. It's a really cool perspective other than, it's not like the fucking acolyte that just goes, hey, by the way, and we're seeing this perspective and this perspective and this perspective. We're doing it from a perspective of learning with them. I really, really like it. But she brings up a very important point, right? It's an astrogation problem. Now, astrogation is navigation in space, right? So, astrogation problem, what does that mean? It's hard to find. How do they get there? They don't know. I don't think they specifically have the coordinates. I think they have the start of the race. I think they have the destination of the start of the race, and then they have to go through, kind of like Tanalorr. Tanalorr? What's Tanalorr? Oh my God, Jeremy, tell me right now. It is the planet in Jedi Survivor. It is the old Jedi temple that they found in the High Republic. It was completely hidden, safe from all of these different things. Cal wanted to start up a Jedi temple there, just like the previous guy before. Cal's not as evil as the guy before, thank God. So it could be interesting. Maybe this could be another Tanalorr situation. Wouldn't it be cool if it was basically adjacent, that this was the evil version of Tanalorr? Would love that. I know they're kind of making it like Exegol is the evil version of Tanalorr, but I think that'd be an interesting point. So let's go into the fan segment before we wrap this bad boy up. I put on my story about a week ago. No, I put on my story yesterday. I was like, guys, fucking tell me what the hell you thought of the third episode. And I got a couple of really cool responses. Let's start off with Darth Christensen 66. Much better than the first two. The Old Republic map has me interested. Dude, same here. I am fucking so keen for that. Absolutely so keen. I really want to see where this goes. I want to see what happens to it, where everything goes with the Old Republic, not necessarily with just these kids. Star Wars Nerd 00, absolute goat, says, loving it so far, man. Was hoping Kim would be Hondo, but we got 5 more episodes. Controversial. I don't want to see Hondo. I don't want anything to do with him because I fear for its ruining of his legacy. I don't think we need to be honest. Like, I want to experience the new characters in a new situation. Yes, Hondo's the king of the pirates. Like, there's no way. The One Piece, no. He's the king of the pirates. I left all my I'm not going to say so bad. That's such a bad joke that so many people don't know. Like, no one really is anyone who's watching this probably doesn't know One Piece. But yeah, no, like, he's the king of the pirates. Everybody wants to see him, but I don't think they need it. I think it would steal from the kids. We need to see more of the pirates that they've showed. This is a slightly different sector. I want to see more of that. You know what I mean? Show me more Jod before I see Hondo. I've seen Hondo all throughout the Clone Wars. I want to see more of Hondo, but in his own way. He could have his own show. Maybe this could be setting up a show potentially for him. Who knows? That'd be cool. But yeah, I'm not riding that train. I don't need it. Star Wars Sith 66, one of the goats of this channel, if not the goat of this channel. Actually, to be fair, I'm sorry, bro. Beyond the Jin Sea does take it. But you are an amazing guy, and I love you so fucking much. And you have been one of the foundational supports of this channel massively. Banger, my favorite so far. Love the new lore bits of the Old Republic and Hidden Planets. Maybe it could be Tanalorr. Maybe we could see more of that juicy planet. I want to see more of it at Aden. I hope they continue down with the same pacing, trajectory, everything, because they're fucking killing it so far. For all of you guys that have liked this one, please, I don't ask this a lot, but please, if you could just fucking just like the video, comment, sub, whatever you want. You know what? You don't even have to do that. Don't even worry. As long as you like the content and I see you coming back, you don't even have to worry about anything like that. Just if you want to see something, if you think I got something wrong, if you want to riff off of other stuff that I've said, fucking go for it. Do it. Don't care. Enjoy yourself. I love you all. I actually love you all. Every single one of you. You've been so amazing to me. So amazing to me. You have provided me so much support and so much love in, honestly, a realm that I didn't think I would be ever doing. I thank you. I thank you all so much. I love you all. I'll catch you in the next one. Episode 4. Don't know what the hell it's called, but I'm really, really keen. I hope we get to see a little bit more of the Force powers. I want to see more of what they're doing on at Aden, because they all can't be analysts, because that would be anal. Love you all. Catch you in the next one. Ciao, people of the earth and the galaxy far, far away. That was my audio. That was my vocals. It's pretty fucking good. Holding my finger on the end recording button. Kind of forgot to finish it. It's gotten a little bit awkward now. Mando.